हमारी बहुत ही प्यारी सी पूजा मेहता जी.
Oh, so sweet.
गुड मॉर्निंग पूजा जी. गाइस यू नो हु इज पूजा जी राइट? हम तो यू नो अभी तो फ्रेंड्स बन गए. एवरी थर्सडे लिसनर्स, यू मी, एवरीबॉडी, राइट?
Absolutely.
Guys, let's all welcome Pooja Mehta from Dalal and law firm, Mehta Law Firm in Islin, New Jersey, of course. And हमेशा जब भी यहाँ पे आती है, she always gets an amazing topics which we don't know. अरे यार ये क्या करूँ, वो क्या करूँ, गूगल बिल्कुल करना नहीं. कुछ भी करो गूगल बिल्कुल नहीं करना. बिल्कुल नहीं करना. यहाँ पे है ना,
हायर करो या ना करो,
exactly,
matter, but गूगल पे नहीं जाना.
हाँ, हम जैसा लोग ही वहाँ पे they keep putting all the comments and whatever it is, people like us. So better don't go Google it. Just talk to Pooja Mehta ji. So after the show, not जो अभी मैं नंबर देने वाली हूँ, शो के बाद उनको कॉल कर सकते हो 732-283-7400. And of course, if you have any questions right now, you can reach out to us at 732-297-9886 है उनका फोन, हमारा फोन नंबर. Guys, आप सुन रहे ABC रेडियो and let's talk to Pooja ji. So Pooja ji, last week we spoke about green card, right? Conditional green card. So आज हम लोग क्या बात करने वाले हैं?
Today we're going to talk about family law and distribution of assets in a divorce. So exciting.
I was like, okay.
So obviously when you get a divorce now, through the marriage you've acquired assets, whether it's a husband or wife, doesn't matter. Even if it's a short-term marriage, if it's a long-term marriage, whatever it might be, there's stuff that's going to be divided. I'm not going to get into child custody.
Okay.
So, बच्चे भी बढ़ते हैं, लेकिन that's not the assets we're talking about. We're talking about, your 401k, your stocks, your liquid assets. And the biggest thing that's always there in any Indian divorce or any, shall I say, Southeast Asian divorce, is jewelry.
Oh yeah.
शादी के टाइम पे हमने ये दिया था, शादी के टाइम पे वो दिया था. I got this made for her. She had that done. So how is the division performed?
Exactly. That's my first question. How is the division? Like, how do you perform that?
So it really comes down to what the category of the asset is. If you're going to have something that was gained during the marriage, it's allowed to be divided. If it's a premarital asset, and I'm presuming that there's no prenup involved, because most South Asians don't get prenups, but if it's a premarital asset, it depends on how much it's mingled into the marriage. Meaning, let's say that you have a savings account, right? And that savings account was from before you got married. And you haven't touched it since you've gotten married. And you've been living off of some other account. So there's strong presumption to say that could be out of the divorce division. But again, nothing is 100%, and attorneys go back and forth for everything. But that's one example of premarital versus marital assets.
So now we are talking about the assets in US, right? So how about in your our own country, like India or wherever you are from? So how about that?
All of that it all counts.
It does?
People think that, wo zameen India mein and we have this property and we have that and everything, and well, the divorce is in America, so it doesn't matter. No. Whatever property, whatever assets, bank accounts, whatever you have in your name, all count. And I feel like after I say that, everyone goes running to change the property title to everybody else. Oh, do we have a caller?
Hello, you're live on air. Good morning. Hello, you're live on air. Good morning. Hi. Can I get your name, please? Oh, that's okay.
No problem. We understand. Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. There's a strong possibility that you would be able to, but I'll be honest with you, without getting into a little bit more further questioning with you, it's difficult for me to say. Just to recap, the concept is that there's premarital property in India, but it seems like certain funds have been contributed to the life of that property from the marriage income, is what I'm understanding. Is that correct? And so there would be strong possibility for you to make that argument that, I should have a percentage of this. But if you would be interested, I would really recommend you reach out to me privately.
Yes.
And we can discuss this. And I always say, our ABC consultations from the listeners are free.
Yes.
So it's a $300 consultation that you get for free. So I would really recommend you give us a call and
Yes.
schedule that.
Yeah, let me tell you their number, okay? It's 732-283-7400, and you just reach out to them as Pooja mentioned. If you mention EBC Radio, you will get that $300 off. Please reach out to her.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Yes, Pooja.
And so
Mhm.
that is a perfect example.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have
Mhm.
premarital assets, but the asset is in India, but the income that essentially gave life, I don't know, but I'm going to presume maybe the situation was that you were paying. India में तो mortgage तो होती है,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Everything is cash up front, but whatever the upkeep or maintenance of the property might be is coming from marital income. So there's a possibility. Let's see what comes about. But it's a very complicated matter because everybody wants to hide their assets and everybody
Yeah.
doesn't want to pay attorney fees to get what their share is, right?
Exactly.
But the reality is that divorce is messy, it's dirty, and it's expensive.
It's very
and it's
complicated.
complicated.
Yes,
So
exactly.
complicated.
So, Pooja, we've been talking about all these properties and everything, right? How about the child support and alimony and all,
So the way that alimony and child support is figured out in New Jersey, child support is strictly done through a child support calculator. And that there is basically a fixed calculation in the state of New Jersey that, if you make this much income and you've been married for this long and you have this going on and the child's age is this, then you should be contributing X amount in child support every month. So it's not whatever I feel like paying this month, I'll pay this month. It's a very fixed measure that the state of New Jersey has provided to us. And in terms of alimony, meaning the compensation that you provide to your spouse, the alimony also is relatively fixed, depending on the amount of years you've been married, what your roles were, what's going on. The alimony compensation is also fixed and determined. However, that can be a little bit more flexible. Keep in mind, a lot of people come to me and they say, in fact, I was just this morning I woke up and I was working on this motion. I have a client who had he was married to a green card holder, and the marriage is a total of 3.5 years. Okay, but it took him 2 years to come to America.
Wow.
So even though it's a 3.5 year marriage, he's only been in America for about 1.5 years, and he left about 8 months after he came to America because husband-wife ki bani nahi.
Wow.
So it's a 3.5 year marriage, but the actual life of them living together was only 8 months.
8 months, yeah.
So my argument is that my husband should only have to have 8 months considered, right?
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
my husband, my client.
Client going.
The wife will obviously argue that, well, it was a 3.5 year marriage and I sustained him while he was in India and, we were this and that and blah, blah, blah. So it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And there's so many factors and elements that are involved in it. And again, divorce is tricky. It's not something that you can Google.
Exactly.
And
you need help from
you
experts
need
like
help.
you, yeah.
And the biggest thing that I find is that because divorce is very taboo in our culture, right? That is the reality. But the also real reality, as you can tell by our caller, is that people do get divorced.
Oh yeah, they do.
So there is no support for people going through divorce where it's culturally relevant. So if you go to a non-Indian attorney and you say that, well, I gave them, Mangal Sutra and I bought this and I bought that, they're not going to get it and they're going to say that it's a gift.
Yes.
So if it's a gift, that means you can't get it
You
back.
can get it, of course.
But our cultural norms say that you should be getting it back. And so that's the benefit you get with hiring a
Attorney,
culturally
yeah.
sensitive attorney.
Yes, of course.
So give us a call or
Yes.
whoever, but we're always here to help everyone.
Yes, of course. Guys, as you know, Poojaji's number is 732-283-7400.
Thank you, Kushi.
No problem. And they are located right here in 200 Middlesex Essex Turnpike, Suite 106,
Suite
right?
106.
Six, yeah,
And I always
exactly.
say, for short, we're right next to Metro Park or the Social
Oh yeah,
Security
very
building.
close, yes.
So everyone
very
knows
easy.
where the Social Security building is. Everyone has to get a Social Security card when they come to the country.
So guys, just don't forget to reach out to her, 732-283-7400. I know a lot of people must be hesitant to give a call in the studio, and it's very personal. I
Yeah.
totally understand.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
respect it. And please reach out to them at 732-283-7400 है उनका phone number, and we would be talking to Poojaji next week.
Yep.
Same place, same time, and until then, guys, call करो फटाफट उनको 732-283-7400. Thank you, Pooja, as always.
Thank you,
so
Kushi.
much.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you. Bye-bye.